Hello, welcome back to PLSQL tutorial. In this PLSQL tutorial, we are going to discuss about PLSQL composite data type, and here is an overall view of PLSQL data type. We have some value which is scalar, which is primitive data type like number, date, varchar, and all those things. And then we have another categories of data where we combine this primitive data type together, and we call them as PLSQL composite data type. They are of two types. One is PLSQL records, another one is PLSQL collections. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about PLSQL records. So let's see how things works. We have let's say we declare a primitive variable called x as number, and inside the begin we assign a value x is equal to 5. Right? So that means at this time x is a number. So x is a box where we can put some value which is a number, and indeed we put some value at this point and become 5. So this is fine, and and we can define more number of as many number of data type as we need, x, y, a, b, c, whatever. Okay, there is no restriction on that. However, it is a good idea if you know there are some data they're kind of similar, and instead of having different 5 different variables, can we declare them on one variable? Okay, the way that you do in C, something called structure, or C++ class, or Java, those are the class where you have member variables. Okay, exactly same concept is here, and that is we call PLSQL records. So PLSQL record is a composite data type which contains multiple of scalar data type like number, varchar, date, and so on. Let's see an example. I declare, and first time, because the way that you define a class or you define a structure has a definition of your abstract data type, and that is done by saying type ABC. The ABC is the name of my abstract data type, and then I say ABC is a record of inside this I'll tell what are the elements of that abstract data type. Let's say the first name is A, and A is a number, and second element is B, which is the date. If I do that, so here basically what in this statement, what I said that ABC is a abstract data type which is a combination of a number and a date. Then I define x is a variable of that abstract data type ABC. So at this time, what I'm basically saying is the same analogy like this. I have a box, and that box name is x. However, that box can contain 2 stuff at a time, and those are A and B. And basically, you can think about that box has 2 compartments right now, and each of them, one of them will contain a number, another one contain a date. Like example is, okay, so like this, right? And at this time, since I do not assign anything, the values will be null. Then I do my begin, and inside that begin, I can define x dot a is equal to 5. So if I do that, then this null is gone, and essentially I put 5 here. Similarly, I can do x dot b equal to 19 January 1901. In that case, this value is gone, and it is 19 Jan 01. Okay, and so this is essentially, by doing this, what I'm doing, I'm packing the data together. Okay, so you can think about something like this, like you want to basically, let's say for example, you are going to travel. Okay, so you're going to a new place. Are you going to take all your clothes, all your let's say you're taking a bike and all this thing separately, or if you want to put them in one bag and transport them, which one will be better? So think about same way. So that is the reason why they have this record type, or how they have composite data type, so they can combine similar kind of data together and they can use that. And we'll find out what is the benefits in our couple of examples in these videos. Okay, so don't worry about that. So this is why and this is the basic things about composite data type, about the records type, that we first define what my record is going to look like. Then I declare a variable of that type. If you consider your C++ or Java example, this is something declaration of a class, and this is an object. Or if you do a C analogy, this is the structure name, and this is structure variable. Okay. Now, after gone through this basics, so this is basically what whatever I showed. This is an example. So ABC is a record of ABC, and then rec, and then I assign. So this is what I already explained you in the previous slide. Let's now see some more example, which is more realistic. So here I'm basically in this line number 3. I'm defining a new abstract type. And what is the name? The name of the type is rec1 underscore t. And what is going to contain? Is going to contain 3 fields. One is varchar, one is number, another is date. And whenever at line number 6, I define rec1. So that time, basically, I have something called, this is rec1, and rec1 is, this is f1, field 1, field 2, and field 3. And then this is how it is at line number 6. And then what is the value? By default, all things are null, because I don't assign anything. Then I declare another variable and another abstract type, which is rec2 underscore t. And then here I did something. Here I said that the whatever the field is not null, and I assign them a default value, that is -1. And then there's another thing called varchar and triple F. So therefore, at line number 8, whenever I define rec2, so rec2 is going to look like something like this. This is my rec2. Rec2 will have 2 fields. One is ID, and second one is name. And since I don't assign anything, but since this has a default value, therefore this becomes -1. This becomes a. Then at line number 7, I did something like this. I also defined another variable called rec11, which is of same type of rec1 underscore t. That means my rec11 is something like this. This is rec11, f3 field, f1, f2, f3, all are null. And then at line number 9, I define another variable called rec3. And rec3 is what type? Rec3 is whatever employee table in database. Now we have a database, we have an employee table in database. Whatever that row, and my rec3 will contain something similar. Let's say my employee table is employee name, employee number, salary, job, hire date, and all those things. So that means my rec3 is going to, the first thing is whatever employee name is a varchar, so this can contain a varchar. And what is the name of this field? Name of this field is ename, whatever the database field name. So look the difference between number 9 and number 6. In number 6, I'm saying that this type. But here, by default, my record is of employee percentage row type. Okay, so this is a reference type, whatever we discussed in some of previous videos. Then also we define another type called rec4 underscore t. Rec4 underscore t will not contain the complete employee row, but instead it will contain 2 columns from the employee table. Those are ename and salary. Okay, and then rec4, basically here I define another variable rec4, and rec4 has 2 fields, which is one is ename, another one is salary. So this is how it is at line number 12. All these variables are created and kept here, except rec2, which was initialized. All others contents right now null. Then in line number 14, I start to initialize rec1.field1. So rec1.field1, instead of null, I put it yesterday. Then I put 65. Then I put whatever today's date minus date. So some dates. Then after line number 16, rec1 is completely initialized. Then what I'm doing in line number 17, I'm assigning rec11 I'm assigning rec1 to rec11. That means all these things whatever there, this is y, this is 65, this is whatever the date, all this is assigned. Okay. So at line number 17, rec1 also initialized. And in 18, I'm basically reading rec2.name. So that rec2.name is AAA. So this is going to print me AAA. So this is how I'm going to initialize. I'm going to declare a type, abstract type, of abstract record type, and then I'm going to declare a variable here. I'm going to access those variables here. Different ways of declaring and different ways of accessing them. So this is what this example illustrates how we are going to declare and define. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to see like how this is going to be used in more effective way. So here is an example. I'm going to selecting a complete record to a record variable. So here what I'm doing, I define a type which is record type, and that record type of is basically this rec1 is of that record type. So this rec1 is going to have two compartments. One is name, and second one is employee number. Okay, and then what I'm doing, I'm selecting employee name and employee number into rec1. See here this is the basically if I do not do this rec1, I could have done in another way like x and y2 variable, and I could have done x comma y. So imagine like these are two variables, but when we are going to select a lot of things, it's going to be unnecessarily we're going to make this thing complicated, right? So instead of that, we can create a record type and then just basically fetch the complete thing into that record. Okay, so this is what we are doing here. We are fetching the name and employee number into this record one, and let's say it's keying and say 1 2 3 4. So this is this line does all those things for you, and then I'm going to print this thing. So this is the use of record. It makes your code more compact. Similarly, we can use an insert PLSQL record. So basically, what I've done here, I have created a record called department underscore info, and what is that? That is exactly same as whatever my department's table in my database. My department's table in my database consists of department underscore ID, and another column is department underscore name, and the last column was department location underscore ID. Last column is location underscore ID. Okay, so if these are the three columns that is in my department table in my database, then I can initialize my record department underscore info using 300. So basically, this is my department underscore info looks like. Okay, so three things, and then I put 300. This is personnel and 1700. So here, insert into department values, I just keep the complete name of the record. So at a one, it's going to insert. So you can do the same thing in different way. Like you could have like let's say you have defined instead of defining record, you have defined x, y, and so z, right? And then you could have rewritten this insert statement like this: insert into table values x comma y comma z. Okay, this is same thing we have done. But again, look at this. Like this is only three columns, only three the three variables, three columns you have. So whenever we have multiple variables in those things, it's going to be more complicated to do this kind of thing. So that is why we use record to make the code more compact. Same thing, we can also do an update. And here is again, we created a record called department underscore info, and then we assign this value. And then using set row, this syntax, we are going to update the complete row where department ID is 300 with these values. Say for example, if we do not give anything, like say let's say we just need to modify this code. We create a department underscore info. So this is my record, and then I have ID, name, and location. So for whatever reason, let's say I forgot to put this thing. Okay, so I don't have anything. So in that case, what I have, if I don't have this, if I miss this line of code, then my department info variable is going to look like this, 300, and then name is null because since I didn't assign anything, so it's not going to have anything. Then I have 1700. So whenever I'm going to do this update statement, what is going to happen in for department 300? The name is set to null because I'm just going to set everything. I'm going to set exactly what I'm seeing here in my department underscore info variable. I'm going to set to that row in my database. So therefore, be careful whenever you are going to do this update with record. Make sure that basically you're not setting only one column here. You are setting the entire row. Okay. So if you, for whatever reason, if something got missing or something gone wrong in this manipulating this variable, then you are going to wrongly update something. Okay, so be careful about update. So this is what a PL record. And if you go to this, so this is what we discussed right now. Okay, and then as you see, as you appreciate that using record, our code become more compact and it's more flexible and it's less error prone. In next videos, we are going to discuss about associative array of PL collections. Thank you.